Hi everyone and welcome along. I've got one last minute Valentine's Day card idea for you today. We're going to do a lovely little banner with some bluebirds holding it. It's going to look really cool. So grab your paints and let's get started. So we're going to do one more Valentine's card for you today. Again, 6 inches by, the whole piece is 9 inches, but a 4.5 inches to get up to a scored line. And yeah, we're going to do a rather fun little sort of banner, sort of quite in the sort of tattoo art style. And so we're going to draw a bluebird. So beginning with, we're going to draw a little sort of oval shape, and then from there, sort of curving up like that. And then we can fan out a tail feathers. You know, it's all very stylized, so there we go. And then we'll have some wings, and you can, there we go, draw in the tops of those wings like that, and then we'll have a little line that comes down under the wing and gives us the sort of place to put the eye, and then we can put the beak in like that. And I will just do some extra lines for these wings. So it's very much in that sort of tattoo style of the bluebird illustration. And then we're going to have it holding a lovely banner in its mouth. So what I've done is just done a wobbly line through the beak, and at this point we've just got that, and we're going to turn that into a really cool banner. So I want to put Happy Valentines. So I'm going to just mark out, so Happy, 5 letters, so P is going to be in there, in the middle. That's how I always work out my lettering. It's not a perfect science because different letters have different widths and thicknesses, but that's how I like to do it. So I'm going to just draw along, and then as it curls, we're going to just taper it off like that. And then I'm going to follow it, and hopefully, now Valentine's is a much longer word, so I'm actually going to write it in a sort of scribbly script font. So A-L-E-N-T-I, just joined up writing really. Happy Valentines. I'm not sure if that's entirely correct. Maybe you have to write Valentine's Day. I'm just going to leave it like that because essentially you could do it. So you could pop in day if you wanted, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm here to teach you how to paint rather than make an ultimate decision on how we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day. Right, we need some blue, don't we, for our bluebirds? So here's cobalt blue deep. That's rather nice. I also think Prussian blue is going to be really lovely for this one. I think for this bluebird we want to make sure we've got different tones of blue. Now my Payne's grey is quite blue as well, so I'm going to bring that one in the mix. And I've got some turquoisey tones as well. So I'm going to use a small brush to be sort of colouring in the sections really. So I'll start with my Prussian blue, and I'm going to paint in the wings. Oh, there we go. The wings and the body Now, if you are drawing this at home, I highly recommend that you would have rubbed out your pencil so that you could only see the very faint outlines. I've kept my pencil quite strong for the sake of filming today, but normally if I was painting this for myself at home, I would rub that pencil out until I could only see the very faintest line. Because that's how we can rub out any remaining pencil at the end, is if we've actually rubbed out most of it before we even started. I get a lot of questions about rubbing out pencil, and that is my main top tip, is rub out most of it before you've even painted. I know there are water soluble pencils. I'm not so keen on those because I like to still have the guide remain there throughout the painting process rather than it just disappear immediately. Now I'm going to paint in the sort of central tail feathers in the Prussian blue as well. Now I'm painting this in quite a precise manner today. I'm not looking for colour blends in quite the way I normally am doing with my watercolour painting, so I'm going to let that dry 100% before I paint in the next colours. But what I can do is I can paint in my banner. Now I like the idea of a bit of permanent rose mixed with yellow ochre. I think it's a great colour combination. So if I mix these two together, I get a lovely blush pink, and obviously the more water I add, the more delicate it gets. I'm going to paint my banner that colour. Now I'm going to paint the banner in sections as well. What I like to do is drop in sort of a decent amount of colour. Even though this is really quite dilute, I want the banner in general to be really pale. So colour both sides, clean the brush off, and then come back in with a clean wet brush. And just stretch that colour right over the rest of the banner. And what that gives you is just a slightly sort of 3D feel to the banner. I will do this little section here. I can just paint that all in the colour. And I'm just waiting for things to dry before I paint the immediate neighbour to it. Now I'm going to paint in the other sections, so I'm going to choose a different blue. So this is Cobalt Blue Deep here. I'm using a size 0 brush, which seems to have a really good combination of small size for good control, but also good coverage for colouring things in without it taking forever. And as I'm working my way through, I just need to add in some extra little pencil lines there. Whoops. And yeah, and now I can choose my third blue and place it in and complete the bird. So we've got everything painted in, basic washes, and now I'm going to do the lettering. So I've got alizarin crimson here, and I'm just gonna draw in this heart. I've got my 4/10 brush, and I'm just going to, if I hold my brush quite vertically, I find it quite easy to just trace along these joined up letters. And then you can always go back afterwards and add thickness where you want it. As a left-hander, I tend to do this backwards as well, but you do not have to do that. And then, yeah, like I said, go back in and sort of thicken up little bits here and there. And then for the lettering above, I quite like the idea of doing something with a bit of a serif to it. So again, using quite an upright brush. But you can very much sort of choose whatever you like. That's also a really good stage to rub out the pencil, and you can see what we're left with is a pretty nice, crisp, clear definition of everything, but we have got a few little bits of detail left to do. So with my 4/10 brush, I've got some Payne's grey, and I'm going to just pop in a little simple eye there, and then what I fancy doing is just turning that flat line into a scalloped edge, and then turning those into actual wings. You could outline the whole thing if you wanted. It's really up to you. I'm in two minds about it really. I think it looks quite nice as it is. But the more outline you put on it, the more it sort of turns into more of a stylized illustration. So really, yeah, it's completely up to you. What I will do is I will add a little extra outline to our beak. But I think that is a pretty lovely and quite simple Valentine's card, allowing you to put whatever kind of message you want on top. So if I take it there, fold it, there we go. A lovely tent-fold Valentine's card. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that one and that you've got your Valentine's cards sorted. I want to say a massive thank you to my patrons for their support, because that support enables us to keep creating videos like these that everyone can enjoy. And if you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and comment below to let me know how you got on with that one. And if you never want to miss another video, just hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!